all right, ripping the Band-Aid off, right? We're getting straight into it. The Angels suck. Now, you don't need a freaking MLB expert to tell you this, but yeah, the Angels have kind of been absolutely garbage as of late, and I mean, it's not really surprising. They've kind of absolutely lost all forms of star power, and we're in the middle of May. I'm currently recording this on the 11th of May. I'm pretty sure I'm going to try to edit this out and get it out as fast as I can before everything I say becomes outdated. So let's just do a lightning round. We're just going to cover April, and even then, I don't want to cover April because April's such a garbage freaking month for baseball as an Angels fans. And you know what, this is probably going to be a really quick video because I'm not really going to want to be going in depth with everything, so it's going to be very general. I'll once we get to the All-Star break, I'll start breaking things down a little more, but Angels baseball in April was some of the saddest baseball I think I've seen, and I enjoy both Angels and the Rockies. Maybe throw a bit of Red Sox in there, but they're very distant third. So for me to say that is it's just I can't really bring myself to say anything positive about the team because even the young players are struggling, and while they're not struggling as bad, they still have a lot of problems, and they're problems that didn't really exist last year until they were injured or they had like some extended time off or something. It's all kinds of bad. Everything has just been absolutely awful. For starters, Mike Trout. Right, Mike Fish, man. Daddy Trout. Everyone was expecting him to go on his revenge tour and absolutely go yard. And he was doing that, right? Pretty much all of April, Mike Fish, man, was absolutely destroying pitches. Well, not really destroying, but he was doing actually pretty good. He was leading in home runs. He even got tied up in home runs. He was starting to steal bases, which, I mean, Mike Trout stealing bases in this economy. Oh, boys, the euphoria I felt when Mike Fishman was actually Mike Fishman. Oh, my God. Ken Griffey would never, either of them. Obviously, that's a joke. They wouldn't have been able to do anything anyways because they're overrated. But point is, right, Mike Trout starting to do great. Anthony Rendon. Everybody in this organization hates Anthony Rendon, but you cannot lie when you say that you, as an Angels fan, was very excited for Anthony Rendon because he started heating up, right? Anthony Rendon was leadoff hitter for quite a while, and he started hitting. He started becoming Tony Two Bags again, not Tony can't do nothing. No home runs, but he was starting to hit doubles. And then he freaking tore his ball sack or something, and now he's dead again. Freaking phenomenal. I absolutely love this team. So, you know, Trout and Rendon, there now. Brandon Drury, absolutely phenomenal year. Last year, this year is a completely different story. I don't know what's going on with Brandon Drury. I don't think he cares anymore. He's literally devolved into a Pujols level. Freaking, he can't produce anymore. Obviously, that's an exaggeration. But, you know, the point is, it's just, Drury's not even cold. He's literally stuck in the Arctic. Somebody help my man. And, you know, all the young kids, freaking Ohapi, Neto, Moniak, they've had some struggles as well. But they're, Shamwow too, Shamwow. They've all kind of just dipped just incredibly low. And I think it all started because when they were playing the Orioles, right, there was this really tough play. I'll see if I can find it and put it in. I probably won't be able to because I'm lazy, but there was a play where it was a hit. It was a freaking hit. But Mountcastle on the Orioles was like, that doesn't look like a hit to me. So he appealed it, and everything got reversed. So like a 33, 34 on base streak turned into like just 30, which is it caused one of the greatest rants coming from Wayne Randazzo. I'll probably put that here in case you haven't heard it. It's everywhere.
Negative story after negative story, scandal after scandal, a fiasco in Oakland. You have these ridiculous-looking jerseys. You have The MLBPA challenging the league about the pitch clock today because of constant pitcher injuries, and yet, not to mention your global superstar is embroiled in a betting scandal. But on top of all of that, you have a young player trying to make a name for himself who has come up and reached base safely in every single game that he has played, and the league allows this scoring change to go on to end his streak, kill this story, a positive story that's happening in Major League Baseball. It is an absurdity.
So that's probably what started everything. That horrible freaking, we're changing the calls. And to top it off, right, another call gets changed, although it's not really as important, you know, in terms of like making history. But another call gets changed, I think also by the Orioles, which is absolutely dumb.
There goes Adell. It's a strike throw to second, a good one. It is in time to end the game. We'll wait and see. Yep, he is safe.
That puts in there.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is out.
That is absurd. That is absurd.
That's unbelievable.
That's a joke. That's a joke. Absolutely ridiculous. It is clear on the replay that Adell was safe, and it is a ridiculous way to end this game. That's garbage.
And then, you know, we just start sucking. We literally, Patrick Sandoval as the opening day starter implodes it on. He implodes, then explodes, and then reassembles himself and does it all over again for all of eternity, because it immediately just starts giving up runs like it's nothing. However, the only good highlight of the Baltimore series is that Mike Fishman hits the first home run of the season, which always feels good. Always feels good. And then we get absolutely demolished, and then freaking, you know, we go on to Miami where we sweep, and then after Miami, it's kind of a blur. Was it the Reds, the Rays, back to Baltimore, back to the Rays, Reds, freaking Red Sox, back to the Rays again, to the Red Sox. It was more road trip than it was home, it felt like. And I'm pretty sure it still is more road trip. That's been happening at the beginning of the year, because you also have Cleveland, and then freaking, who else was? Okay, see, there's a problem with doing this super late, and that's because Cleveland was in May. So what I meant to say was Philly and Minnesota. Boy, those games made me want to throw myself out the window, because, well, maybe not Minnesota, because I went to that game, but, you know, Philly could have been. This is what frustrates me, right? And this is probably the main thing about April, is there are so many could've, should've, would'ves, didn'ts that happened. Philly should have been a sweep. Several games in Tampa Bay should have been wins. Definitely in Cincinnati, there should have been maybe a win here and there. Don't even get me started on the Red Sox. They should have won against the Red Sox like maybe twice. And then the bullpen came and just imploded. So, with that being said, without this getting a little too long, you know, all stars are dead. The kids are kind of sucking, but at the same time, they're kind of starting to do good. Again, I'm trying to retro this over to April / the last game of whatever April series started. So everything is just kind of being held together by duct tape and maybe like a bit of Gorilla Glue. And by a bit, I mean like a teensy little drop, and that's kind of starting to hold everything together. But they're still just, the bats are not batting. And that's kind of been all of April. You just don't have any bats. Tampa Bay, the 4-game Tampa Bay series had like 400 million runners in scoring position that just got abandoned. Cincinnati, I can't recall, because I genuinely do not care about the Reds. I'm sorry, I just don't. Ellie De La Cruz is only there. He's kind of like Mike Trout. He's kind of just there on a freaking mediocre to garbage team, except more mediocre than garbage. The second series with Baltimore should have been, at the very most, a win. At very best, obviously, a sweep. And then Minnesota, I want to forget everything about Minnesota, because they're not doing anything besides maybe winning the pennant again. So that's about it. Philly should have been a sweep, and the entire month of April was just pain and suffering. But at the very least, now that we're in the middle of May, I'm not going to talk about anything in May because that's for later. But yeah, April, absolute nightmare. May, it's become even worse, and I'll talk about that maybe in like the middle of June. So yeah, I've got absolutely nothing. That's kind of that's kind of been this year's Little Angels recap. It's kind of sucked. It really has kind of sucked. The point is, it's awful, and they are, I went to that game where they were giving out the Star Wars Rally Monkey. The parking was absolutely awful, and I never want to do that again. So I didn't even get my Rally Monkey, which makes me even more mad. And I went early, and I did not get a monkey. So, screw me. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, I don't know what's going to be going on in the background. Probably Halo, so make fun of that. And I'll see you in, like, the middle of June to see how the Angels hold up in the rest of May. So, I hate being an Angels fan.